Good evening, everyone. So, I just got out of the shower, and there is something on my mind that I really feel like I need to get off my chest. I was watching the news earlier, and I saw yet another predator get arrested. And this predator was a Muncie volleyball coach. And the fact that no one is surprised anymore about predators lurking in schools, and it kills me. It just tears me up inside. Like, I had some remarkable teachers who went over their way, like way out of the way, to make sure that each and every student was cared for. Each and every student knew that they were loved and protected in their classrooms, and it was never a concern of, is this teacher going to be the teacher that tries to hurt my child. And there was a period of time when I went to the Arkansas School for the Blind, and even at the blind school, there was a teacher who got fired or resigned or something, and he was having a really inappropriate relationship with one of my peers. This particular person spoke of the relationship with a youth pastor who then reported it to the person's parents, and you know, that man got his teaching license taken away, and he had a wife and a child, and it really impacted his family, as it should have, because now that I'm an adult, I see that it's so wrong. Like, we were children, we were 16, and no grown man over the age of 30 should be looking at a 16-year-old, kissing a 16-year-old in secret. And the fact that people knew about it as teenagers, it's like no one really reported it, but she knew it was wrong. And all of these young women today are being over sexualized, and young girls think it's cute to run around half naked, or to be posting provocative pictures, or provocatively posing, or even how they carry themselves in front of men. Like, women who have boyfriends and have daughters and don't tell their daughters, oh, you need to cover up when this man is in the house. That is setting you up, because that's giving that man an opportunity to look at your child as something more than just a young woman. And it messes with me. Like, my mother, when she was dating, if she had a male in the home, it was either go to your room or put clothes on. There was nothing in between. There was no being around other men with no clothes on, especially grown men. And even, it took me a while, even as an adult, to start showing cleavage. Like, I was very modest. I always covered up because I had enough respect for myself. Like, I didn't really think of myself as sexy. I wasn't trying to accentuate my assets because I was a young woman, and my mom taught me to be modest and to cover yourself. And it just hurts me, and I'm so blessed that I had teachers to look out for me in my best interest. And I pray, and I have true pain for these young women and men who have teachers that, instead of helping them, are actually preying on them. There are teachers right now who are letting their students call them and confide in them about bad home situations or bad test scores or whatever the case is, and they're using that as ammunition so that they can work their way in. Like, it's crazy how many predators are in school. And it's amazing, because I have teachers who I even have relationships with as adults. And when I moved to Arkansas, there was a teacher at the Indiana School for the Blind who was being investigated for inappropriate sexual misconduct with a child. Like, nobody is safe. Um, And really it starts at home. Like, as parents, you all need to really educate your children and really sit down and have open dialogue with them, because as children, they have so much access to things that they shouldn't have access to. Like, even social media. I saw on Good Morning America yesterday that Facebook is trying to launch a Facebook app geared toward kids ages 6 to 12. Now, why does my 6-year-old niece or nephew need access to a Facebook Messenger app? Like, if you have little friends, they can come over, y'all can have a play date. We don't need access like that to children. And I have respect for the men and women in my family who monitor what their kids can and cannot see on the internet. And they monitor the content and they shield them from things that they absolutely should be shielded from, because they have no way of understanding. And the thing about it is that these young, vulnerable men and women have this ideal. And if an adult comes to you and they're saying something to you and it has to end with "don't tell someone," then that clearly means that you need to tell. But no one is being taught that. And I know I'm going in circles. The whole point of this video was mainly to shed light on the situation and to express my gratitude and my thankfulness for all of the teachers out there who are doing what they need to do as educators, and who are reaching out to those young students as support systems without taking it over the line, because there is a line and it's being crossed. It's really, people are stretching out this line, and I feel like as we continue to look into these celebrities, we need to also look into the people who are having regular access to the children, to the brothers and sisters, to nieces, nephews, cousins. We need to start at the daycares, preschools, and work your way up. Even, at the church. Look into the youth pastor. Look into the children's choir director. Look into whoever you need to look into to make sure your kids are safe. And talk to them. Let them know, boy, you have a penis. Girl, you have a vagina. Nobody should be touching you there. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't, oh, that's your pee-pee or your wee-wee or your vajayjay. No, it's a penis, it's a vagina. Let them know nobody should have their hands down there. Nobody should be touching you there. Nobody should have access to that. And that's all. That's point blank, period. Parents, I'm not a parent yet, but I was raised by a good one. Please start talking to your children. And children, if you can, start opening up to your parents and letting them know. If a teacher rubs you the wrong way, if a teacher approaches you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, let somebody know. Feel free to speak out. Feel free to go, because there are, like I said, people who genuinely care. But there's so many predators out here that the people who care are being pushed out by the wayside, and I just don't want to see that happen anymore. Lastly, if you feel like that you can't go to someone, or you don't know what to say or what to do, talk to someone. I will be a friend to you. My family will be a friend to you. My friends will be a friend to you. Put it out there that you're not educated, but you want to be. You want to know what's good and what's bad. You want to know, hey, is it okay for anything? Like, I have so much respect for my family, because even hugs, even physical activity, as a child, you're conditioned to, even if you don't feel comfortable with relatives, oh, go hug them and say bye. No, my mom doesn't do that to me. If I don't want to hug you, she never made me hug you. If I didn't want affection from you, she never made me have affection. People say that that's funny acting, but look, there's all these young boys and girls who might have just seen that relative once in their life, or they only see that relative on holidays, so they don't want to go hug Uncle Eddie, and I only see Uncle Eddie once a week or once a year. Like, or I just met him for the first time because Uncle Eddie was living across country, whatever the situation is. If they don't want to hug Uncle Eddie, allow them to say hello and walk away. Give your children are a good judge of character. Give them the opportunity to feel that person out. Don't force your kids to be affectionate. Like, family or not. Sometimes it's family. If you have questionable siblings, questionable cousins, questionable aunts and uncles that you know your kids can't be around, then keep them people around your children or away from your children. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because they're family doesn't mean that they won't hurt your child. Just because they hold a position of power or a position that makes you think that they shouldn't do it doesn't mean that they won't. And we live in a day and age where it's very much time to speak out. And as kids, your children will spend a lot of time in school. And if they can't feel safe in school, or if you don't know enough about your child to know that something's going on with them, that their behavior is off, because I'll be damned if my coach lived in the neighborhood and I was having inappropriate relations with my coach and he was texting me and shit in the middle of the night, my mama would have knew. Like, these parents don't know that this young girl is sneaking out to this man's house. That shit is ridiculous to me. Why are y'all not keeping track of y'all kids? Why are y'all not checking to see who they talking to? My mom checked everybody. Who's your friend? Who's their daddy? Who's their mama? Who all live in the house? Do they got siblings? They got aunts and uncles? Where's their address? I want to go lay eyes on them. Where you gonna sleep at night? Like, parents these days are not asking those kind of questions. And people are laughing it off like it's a joke, but it's really not. Like, please get involved. Please start getting involved with your children. And if you know of an organization to put your child in, to help them to be in a place where they're comfortable, where they can connect or something, y'all start making suggestions. Like, just don't ignore it. And for you all that don't know your children, that's why you don't see the signs, because you don't know your child. And if you don't know your child, you don't know that they're withdrawing from you. You don't know that their behavior has changed. You don't know that they're spending more time on their phones than before, because you don't have that kind of relationship with your child. Please, if anybody wants to do something for me this Christmas, reach out to somebody and just let them know, like, hey, I'm here for you. If you have younger siblings, younger relatives, young people in your family, reach out to them and make sure they're okay. Make sure that they don't feel like they're in awkward positions with friends or family. Make sure that they're not feeling forced or intimidated, because this is a time of year where suicide is really, really big. Suicide gets really big in the holidays. And I'm just letting y'all know that people in the world need love, and they need it the right way. That's all. Everybody have a happy and blessed day. Thanks.